Hello, greetings, my friends. This is Gilles. I wanted to welcome you today and welcome to my channel. I'm going to continue to discuss about spirituality. We're getting ready for the solstice. It's going to be a very, very powerful energy uplift. For it is really the return of the divine feminine. We have there's going to be an activation of this return of the God self on the divine aspect. All men, women, animal, plants, trees, everybody will receive this activation on the divine feminine. And but it is very much about an increased intuition, increased receptivity, activation of the divine pink flame of love. And because of Mercury retrograde, it is time to pause. It is time to get ready for a rebirth, to review our life, to reflect, to contemplate, to look at all the details and the big picture in the same time, and not to get lost in the detail, yet all the details are important. So this Mercury retrograde is greatly assisting in that sense, for we're looking for a new way of life and to change our way of life, to look for new feeling of bliss, of well-being, of joy, of new sensation. And for that, we need to activate new routines within our life. It is important to. I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but it's really also we're going to be given the opportunity to put in practice all the things we have learned through the past few years. So it's about being spontaneous with even all tools that we use for our spiritual evolution. We may need to evolve it, to be spontaneous, to try new things, to be very audacious, not to be afraid, to be shy on the spiritual. In your relations with God, there is nothing you can hide from God. God knows you, so you don't have to be timid in relation to that. Just try things and you will see how it feels. If it feels right, you were right to try those things, to do those things. For it is very much we have to change, to look into our life, the patterns of our reality, and what the positive and negative patterns, the habits, our actions, whether it's food or daily habits. And it's like, what kind of patterns do we like, and what kind of patterns do we do not like, and what energy those patterns create within our life. For patterns are just they're just patterns. The patterns have already paid their due to karma, to karmic. For the original pattern is paradise. From the patterns of paradise, the spirit has created the central universe, and this is the ultimate patterns. And every universe is based on some kind of energy models from that central universe. But over there, every being operate and work and live in the essence of perfection. There is nothing. It's like they're naturally perfect in there. So that provides God a great satisfaction of knowing how things should be done on a perfect level. But in the latter universe, the universe of duality and time and space, of polarity, the cosmic universe, then there is an evolution of growth and patterns. So. For make the choice of freedom, and it's important to choose freedom, to make that choice from the old and dark patterns. And for it is not about judgment. Once again, we do not want to judge ourselves from the old patterns. We want to know that it was very useful to go through what we needed to go through, and now we're ready to let it go and move into a very more constructive and positive patterns in our habits, or whichever way. Whatever we are called to do. I'm going to pull a few cards with the Angel Tarot. The past is communications. We've been communicating and will continue to communicate this light, this truth that is so personal to us. What we are now is acceptation, the acceptation of liberation, the acceptation of freedom, the acceptation of joy, the acceptation of letting go. And the future is hope. We continue to cultivate hope. Hope will always be essential. Hope, faith, trust. What we're working on now is work. So we're getting ready for this very new step where there'll be a lot of work, but it's going to be gracious. We have to find the harmonious connection between action and non-action, to be not to be agitated in work. And what is coming in the future as a result of that work we do for ourselves or within ourselves or in the world is an elevation. And we're being prepared for a cosmic elevator that will increase our consciousness level. It has been noted that many messengers that have been noted that the spiritual hierarchies on the highest level, the spiritual cosmic level, there is councils of 9, of 12, of 4 and 20. There is the higher councils of the earth that rule over the eternal destiny of the earth. We do not know them, but they are the ones who are in charge of this program. But on the fourth dimension, there was the councils of the earth were dominated by dark forces, dark extraterrestrial, and those who have been removed. They've been not just on this planet, on many other planets. They've been in violation of the divine law for such a long time, and they believe they could always get away with it, but it's no longer the case. So a lot of those members have been removed and arrested and replaced by light members. So it's going to really shift everything. And there was a civilization, extraterrestrial civilization, that used to interact with the Earth, and from the time of Atlantis, that created this civilization in Egypt. They were what we call the Egyptian gods, and they really want to return. And they're very high frequency being from the 16th dimension, and it's been confirmed that Anubis, the great god, the great Anubis, is creating a new fleet with this very advanced technology that will come and assist the Federation with this cleanup. And so it's all, and they want to come back and return to the Earth to continue to teach. For they are very, they were carrying this understanding of eternal life, and they were very advanced than the Egyptians. For it was the Atlantean that created, that civilized this place. Those beings from those higher beings from Atlantis that was supervising the program of Atlantis, let's say, and then they civilized Egypt, and at some point they were called to ascend and leave, and the people were feeling very lost when all the gods of mythology, those extraterrestrials, had to leave the planet. The humans feel very abandoned by them, but they will return. A lot of them were positive beings as well. What we want is to clear up our physical body, to become a clear instrument, so that God can play us, to play our songs. God will play our song. He's not going to play He's got all the songs, but what he wants is to play our songs through our physical body. So we need to cleanse that, to get ready for that. I just thought I come and say hello. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Thank you for your donations. If you want a private session, you can send me an email. And we're getting ready for a great deal of activity. The highest wisdom is reparation. We're going to need to bring back all those things, all the details of our life into pure harmony, so we don't have to deal with those little things from the past. And we're going to be given the opportunity. What we need to understand is the tribe. We're going to be connecting to all kinds of new people, and so it's like, be ready to be part of that tribe that is coming. What we need to do is the unfinished symphony, to complete those programs that are within ourselves, to let go of the old patterns. And it's very important to know what they are, and then to boldly go when no one has gone before, for we have not gone before. But some of those things we've already been prepared for it, so it will happen. For the outcome will be the equitable beings, to be fair, to be just, to be balanced, and to be transparent, to have the sense of justice is important, to be balanced in our life. I want to discuss briefly, when we first came to the planet as spirit groups, the first advanced civilization was called Mu. They were living on a continent in the Pacific that was called Lemuria, Mu. For Mu and Lemuria were two different times, but they were the same, essentially, civilization. And we were very advanced extraterrestrial. We lived in the paradise. We lived in the 12th dimension. There was no physicality involved, so no survival. But there was just an amazing paradise. But then there was the galactic wars, and Mars got invaded. Venus was the physicality of Venus was destroyed as well. Maldek was destroyed by some invader from another universe that were like completely. They took over Mars, and once Mars got destroyed, they all ended up on the Earth. So the spiritual hierarchies, and decided to create this physical civilization called Atlantis, where they could unify all of the extraterrestrials that incarnated in physical forms on the planet after the destructions of Mars and Maldek before. And so there was an exodus. So there's some positive that came as well from the Mars. For a lot of Martians remain there. They're still there. They will come to understand them. The positive beings. They did not abandon their planet, although they had to adapt to a very difficult situation. And some of the deep state, they know that there is a population on Mars as well, physical population there. They won't show you photos of it. But Atlantis was quite successful as a program. It was the most advanced civilization, a physical civilization. Of course, not as much advanced as Mu. But at some point, Atlantis, there was some faction within Atlantis that became warlike, and because that was their nature, to destroy, to attack, to dominate. And they attacked Lemuria and destroyed the continent of Lemuria. The Sahara, it was a tropical garden before, but it was It was during those times that it became a desert. It was a nuclear war between Lemuria and Atlantis, and finally the continent of Lemuria got destroyed. It was very sad. It was very traumatic, but it was a very long time ago. And then all the civilization of Lemuria went inside the earth. They became, for like 800,000 years ago, they became the Agarthan, and then eventually Atlantis got destroyed as well. So those are traumatic events. We want to heal that and know that the higher consciousness of those places will re-emerge. We need to reintegrate the feminine of Lemuria and the masculine of Atlantis, for we want to return to the light. The call has been made, and for the light is really our origin. We made the choice to descend for exploration purposes. Nobody forced us to descend. We were called to descend here. We know it's only an experience, but we need to go through the fire of purification and let go of the judgment to activate the right brains. We've been dominated by this left brain. We need to reactivate the right brains beyond good and evil, this intuition, and then once the two brains will fuse, it's going to activate the cerebellum at the bottom, the top of the spine, the mini brain, which will give us amazing powers. So this will happen, the fusion of our brain. For there is 7 circles of concentric circle of consciousness we need to achieve. Each circle has a mastery lesson. It's not something we do consciously, but we pass through those circles, and when we achieve the inner circle, we are initiated to 7 levels of Christ consciousness. And so first is the spiritual awakening, then it is the baptism, the purification through the sacred fire, then it is the feeling of love from God, and then we understand we are integrated within our spiritual self and physical mission. Then there is the transfiguration, the opening of the door of the spirit, and then the third eye activation, and then the crucifixion and the resurrection, which leads to the actual ascension. All of that is a process. It doesn't have to be rationalized, and it is something that happens naturally, and so we'll be greatly activated by this portal. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I hope you're having a good day. I was going to sing a song and I didn't have the words, so I pulled out another one, but then finally, yes, I'm still going to sing that song, so I'm going to sing both. One is short, the other one's a bit longer, and it's 2 songs from Bob Dylan. This one is about somebody who really wants to change his patterns, from dark patterns to light patterns. It's called Knocking on Heaven's Door. Mama, take this badge of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That cold black cloud is coming down. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'll put one more card and sing this other song. But I was going to sing it and say, well, it's too long. There were some people that took that made some cover on that other song, but they never venture behind just the beginning. They sing the beginning, so I'm going to try to sing it all the way through. And the card of the day is this magical card of love. It's a card that is wonderful. It's the Ace of Raphael, the Ace of Cup. Positive experience on the emotional plane. You will be fulfilled by a romantic relationship. Let yourself be guided by your intuition. So it's quite wonderful, wonderful omen, wonderful oracle. So let us see what life is ready to unfold within our life. Well, I'm going to finish with this song. Thank you very much for those who don't want to hear that song. And we're getting ready. It's really hot here, but I feel like there are vacations coming, travel, everything is good. The borders are going to reopen really soon, and we're going to find this freedom again. It's called Mr. Tambourine Man. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning I'll come following you. Though I know that evening's empire has turned into sand, vanished from my hand, left me blindly here to stand, but still I'm not sleepy. My weariness amazes me, I'm branded on my feet. I have no one to meet, and the ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. My senses I've been stripped. My hands can't feel to grip, my toes too numb to step. Wait for my boot heels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere, I'm ready for to fade into my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way, I promise to go under it. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning I'll come following you. Though you might hear laughing, spinning, swinging madly across the sun, it's not aimed at anyone, it's just escaping on the run. And but for the sky there are no fences fencing. And if you hear vague traces of skipping reel of rhymes, to your tambourine in time, he's just a ragged clown behind, I wouldn't pay any mind. He's just a shadow you're seeing that is chasing. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle morning I come following you. And take me on a disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind, down the fogging ruins of time, the haunted frightened trees, out to the windy beach, far from the twisted reach of crazy sorrow. Yes, the dance beneath the diamond sky, with one hand waving free, silhouetted by the sea, circled by the circus sand, and with all the memory and faith driven beneath the wave. Let me forget about today until tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning I'll come following you. Play a song for me, I'll come following you. Was already pulled the card, all the oracles have been prepared for this great love that will unfold, and who knows, or cultivate this love, it will continue to unfold. I wish you a wonderful day. Let's prepare for the great solstice that is coming this weekend. Thank you very much. Namaste.